Welcome back to Razmafzar TV. I'm happy to be here again with you, and I'm going to start a new series. And this series is going to be about my journey in researching arms and armor from Iran. The reason I started this series, and the one reason for doing it, is because I had the feeling that some people did not realize that how I obtained information for writing these books, and including many of these arms and armor in my books. Many of you know that I have published 10 books and over 204 print articles, many of them in peer-reviewed journals, most of them, absolute majority, and also won 3 major book prizes, basically 4 book prizes for them. And I'm going to talk about my journey, how it started. It was a long time ago. My book, Arms and Armor from Iran, was published in 2006. I remember years before that, it was 2002, that I went to Iran after many years of absence. So I went to Iran to do research on arms and armor. My intention was that back then, before I published anything, I published in 2006, books on arms and armor from Iran. Persian, Iranian arms and armor were not there. There were some here and there, some articles. There were one book written in Poland about Persian arms and armor in one Marburg, I think, in Poland. But besides that, there were hardly any book written on Persian arms and armor, Iranian arms and armor. So my intention was to write a book, and then this book for me was a book to be dedicated to a study, to a detailed study on Iranian arms and armor. Because back then there were articles here and there on Iranian and Persian arms and armor, under the section of Islamic arms and armor. And with that term, I had problems because Iran is a culture of at least 7,000 years. And calling it Islamic arms and armor didn't make sense to me. Besides, back then, I had been sure that you could not find any equivalent of it, neither in Persian nor in Arabic, but let's stick to Persian. We don't say shamshirhay Islami, right? We have shamshirhay Irani, right? Iranians are swords or shamshirs. So, and then another intention of mine was that I realized that most publications in the West, as you know that I'm Western educated, I studied in the United States, I studied in Germany, I studied in Spain, and all these studies enabled me to see from different languages publications, everything concentrated on publications on Persian or Iranian arms and armor. And then I remember they used British collections, European collections, American collections to classify Persian arms and armor. And I remember that in Victoria and Albert Museum, we have a very beautiful sword attributed to Shah Abbas I, which has a very wide blade and a slight curve. And I remember that that sword was taken back then as a shamshir, as a sword, and they called it a saber. And after that, then this highly curved, which happened, according to my researchers in the field, during the Shah Abbas, that the highly curved blades happened during Shah Abbas period, or they started to make. Back then, when I asked many collectors, why don't we go to the country of origin or the source of all this, meaning Iran? And then the whole idea was always there, oh, do they even keep their arms and armor there? Do they even have their arms and armor there? And so that was the whole idea. To be honest, I was not satisfied with such a statement. I knew that I should go to Iran. And back then, my late father, God bless his soul, was still alive. So I went there. And together we started to do a research. And he found that there was a military museum within Tehran, Military Museum Tehran, which is in Shah Abbas Palace Complex. And he found out that there is a collection, very beautiful collection. And then we went there to visit the museum. I was mesmerized. The museum had different shamshirs, arms and armor. Back then, I was a mostly shamshir guy. Later on, also firearms, armor, and many things. But then we saw shamshirs attributed to all Safavid kings. Shamshir of Karim Khan Zand is there. Shamshirs attributed to Afshari period, Zand period, Shamshirs of Fatali Shah Qajar, Qameh of Abbas Mirza, and many other things. Also, true attributed, I repeat, attributed. I'm not saying that they were 100% made during that time, highly curved, attributed to Timur with his name there. So then I decided to ask for permission. Back then, as of today, Musée Nizami Tehran, you're not allowed to take pictures. So, and even those pictures wouldn't serve me because, I remember I was talking to a person and he was surprised that I had all king's swords in my hands. Yes, I had them because I got the permission. They opened everything for me. I was the first, one of the few, if not the first researcher where they opened all inventory of Military Museum of Tehran for him. So I asked for permission. Back then, the head of Shah Abbas complex gave me the permission. I wrote a letter, and back then it was a fax to him. Within one day, this fax came back that I should go there. Then they contacted Nakhoda Fallah Sharif, who was the Marine General of Iran back then. He also gave me the permission to go and was a history graduate, loved Iran and Iranian history and military history. And he supported me. And back then, the head of Military Museum, he came, that was Sarhang Shadbah, Colonel Shadbah, Shah Abbas Safavid. And they all allowed me, gave me permission to do that. But then again, because all these bureaucratic things or all these permissions and licenses takes a bit of time, I was only staying for 1 or 2 weeks in Tehran. So I flew back to Europe, to Germany. And then after 1 month, I came back with permission and I started the work. What we did was that I was assigned a team of soldiers who helped me to, they opened all those glasses, all those doors, and so then cabinet doors, and then took them out. And then one by one, I measured them. And then 2 photographers were given to me and from Iranian cultural heritage there and took pictures. And I measured them, analyzed them one by one. I spent weeks there. I was so mesmerized. Do you know how it is to have king's sword, to have Karim Khan Zand Shamshir in your hand, to have Fatali Shah Qajar swords in your hand, to have Shah Ismail sword in your hand, to have Shah Abbas swords in your hand, to have Shah Safavid sword in your hand, Shah Sultan Hussein sword in your hand, to have Shah Safi, Shah Suleiman sword in your hand, and all these things. Armor of Shah Ismail in your hand, Charaine, and so on and so on. So it is a mesmerizing effect. And I would like to thank back then the cultural heritage of Iran, Shah Abbas Palace Complex, and Iranian military army for giving me the permission to do that. So I analyzed everything. And then I started to write in my book, Arms and Army from Iran, I wrote it, which has almost 800, I think 780 pages. It's a huge book, weighs 5 kilos, and is over 500 items. I think 520 arms and armor, which I analyzed and measured in my hands there. Not everything there is from Military Museum of Tehran. This part is about Military Museum of Tehran. Also went to Shiraz, analyzed Military Museum of Shiraz there. Also went to Bandar Anzali, Military Museum of Bandar Anzali there. I also went to Pars Museum in Shiraz for another Karim Khanizand. So it makes the 4 museums. I went to Musée Nadiri for another Shah Afshar, another Shah's swords. Then I went again to National Museum of Iran. I went to Reza Abbasi Museum of Tehran, this 7. I went to Sabs Museum, to Golestan Palace Museum, and then also to Millat Museum there. And these 10 museums, I analyzed all inventory of them, of Persian arms and armor. I measured all of them. I had them all in my hand and included in my book. Now, why Military Museum of Tehran is extremely important, Musée Nizami Tehran. These museums, the whole inventory, most of it are Persian, Iranian arms and armor, but they have also some state gifts, include include some Russian, Europeans as well, and also Ottoman, which were given as presents to Iranian kings, but most of them are Persian, also Japanese. So I analyzed them, and on this museum, and Military Museum of Shiraz, Military Museum of Bandar Anzali, north of Iran, where I went, these 3 belong to the personal collection of Nasseruddin Shah Qajar. Can you imagine? They were personal collection of Nasseruddin Shah Qajar. And then he inherited them from kings, one generation after the other. And then later on, during Pahlavi time, they were kept in Danishgah Afsari, Military University, Academy. After the revolution of Iran, they were separated in 3 parts. One part was kept in Military Museum of Tehran, sent there in Sadabad Palace Complex, or one was sent to Shiraz, and one part was sent to Bandar Anzali. Right? And then later on, there were some of them in the stock, and they were sent to Kerman and made Military Museum of Kerman. And we will come back to it later on. Today, I'm going to show you the Military Museum of Tehran. If you want to have more information about all these pieces, because I had them again all in my hands and I measured them, I would really ask you to buy my book, Arms and Armor from Iran, which you can order it from our bookshop, which I am going to put the link here. I also wrote some articles on Military Museum of Tehran in French. You can go and Google it and put the link, put the link and go there and read those articles. Let me just share that with you. Okay, this is Musée Nizami, as you can see it here, Military Museum. This is a beautiful place, which is in Saadabad Palace Complex. So the Military Museum is in Saadabad Palace Complex. When you enter, just go the road to the left, you walk uphill, and on top of the hill, you see this beautiful Military Museum. As you can see, there is a ship. This was a reconstruction of an Achaemenid ship, and this was used during 2,500 years celebration, which was done in Shiraz by Muhammad Reza Pahlavi. This was used there. So this is there. And when you go inside, you see soldiers, Iranian soldiers from different eras. And these soldiers, all these things they are wearing, back then, if you go on Google, you search for that, in 2,500 year celebration of Iranian kingdoms, people were wearing these and going on march in front of Muhammad Reza Shah Pahlavi. And these are from Achaemenid period. You see that both of them are wearing akenakes, as you can see it here, right? He's having a goirito. Then you see that again is an ashtibara. And here you see this arms and armor from Iran. I just need to mention it in 2009. I won the book prize for this book, the World Book Prize of Iranian Studies, which was given by the back then president of Iran to me. And I won this book in a state ceremony where many professors from United States, from Canada, Europe, and Russia, and other parts of the world were invited. So this guy, as you can see it here, is an Achaemenid. Then this is a Parthian, as you can see. All their weapons. In Ashtibara, he has Ashti spear. Another Sasanian, he's a Sasanian. Right? And there is a Sasanian sword. This is another Sasanian. You know, as you can see them. I don't put all of them. I have, of course, pictures of all of them. And then another Sasanian. And then here we have a Dynamite, right? Then you can go ahead, as you can see, then during Safavid period, right? Safavid period as well. And then you go, this guy, you see that the swords, which is true, you can see in the museum, of Sharid period, they get really white-bladed. Most of Sharid use white-bladed, right? And then Zand period and Qajar period. As you can see them, you can see clearly the influence of European military advisors there during Qajar period. So guys, remember, many of these shamshirs and these swords you have are heirloom swords. They come from earlier period, and then they were then carried over to others. During Qajar period, as I repeatedly published and shown, they didn't use, they started also to use lots of European military style sabers and swords, and some of them had even a forged blade made of crucible steel. Let's go ahead and see that. There are then horses in the middle, as you can see it here. It's horse trappings, and so you see that here, there, over there, all of them removed, and they were all in my hands. You can see all of them in my book. Here is with Professor Mohammad Ismaili, one of my friends there, who is a professor at University of Tehran. He's a University of Tehran. He's an archaeology professor here. And this picture was taken 1 year before, ago, when I went back to Iran. And when I analyzed this museum, it was in 2005, actually, right? So 2004 and 5. And then, but here, 2005, actually, and this is here where we took a picture when I went years later, because this museum was also being restored and renovated. So then reopened it a couple of years ago, 3-4 years ago. In some years they closed it for the public, of course, not for me. But then here you can go and visit this museum. You see all these beautiful items are there. Maces, right? They were all, you can see all of them. All of them are in my book. This one as well. This shield, this mace, this zubin, all of them are in my book. You can see also there were Safavid period bows, and here they all have dates on them. Safavid period, all of them, you can see them here. You can see a quiver here. They're all in my book. And then here, unfortunately, this shield back then was this height shield, many shields, separate charmi, as we call them. This one was unfortunately affected by some water, so they were restored again. Back then, they were in pristine condition. So you can see these are different swords. And yeah, you can see them here. There are maces, shishbar, hashbar, bull-headed mace, all of them. You can see them in my book. Other swords here, as you can see that, right? Really, really beautiful. Here is, for example, you see that the marks Amal Asadullah Isfahani, the work of Asadullah Isfahani, Bande Shah Velayat Abbas, the representative of Shah Velayat means Ali Abbas, because the Safavid kings considered themselves as representatives of Hazrat Ali. See here, there also, as I mentioned, that two swords attributed, I repeat, two shamshirs attributed to Timur, Amir Timur Gulkani. Here is this one, but then this was added later. It's in Kufik. This was added later during Qajar period. Is Sardar Kol Aziz Khan Mukri. You will find more information about this in my lexicon of arms and armor from Iran. This is another one, Al Sultan Amir Timur Gulkani. You can see it here. See here, published. See, look at this mail armor, all riveted, heavy mail armor. They're attributed to Shah Ismail Safavid, also this. Made of crucible steel, attributed to Shah Ismail Safavid. Here, when they were on my hand, we spread them on the ground and I measured them, pictured them, and you can see these pictures. This is another one of Shah Abbas, Amal Asadullah Isfahani, Shah Abbas, right? There are 4 swords attributed to him. Shah Abbas in the museum, Military Museum of Tehran. Amal Asadullah Isfahani, Amal Asadullah Isfahani, Amal Asadullah Isfahani. You see that? There's different types of it. This is Misri Muallam, Amal Muallim Misri or Misri Muallam. Bandi Shah Velayat Safi. This is this beautiful sword with a Carabella hilt, which is in this museum. Here you see then again, this is Bazuband attributed to Shah Ismail Safavid, and also this mail armor. This is a flamberge sword and undulated blade attributed to Shah Suleiman Safavid. It is really sharp, pristine condition. With Amal Asadullah Isfahani, Ana Man Suleiman wa Ana, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. This is from the Holy Quran and with the Badu. Again, yeah, that's beautiful. Another one, which is also with curved blade, Shamshir attributed to Shah Sultan Hussein Safavid, also with a curved blade, as you can see it here, with Amale Kalba Ali Isfahani. These are functional curved blades. These are made of patterned crucible steel. As you can see it here, there are others, right? Very beautiful. This is a blade, this is a sword, one of the swords attributed to Karim Khan Zand, and also wrote in French an article on him. این تیغ که شیر فلکش نخجیر است، شمشیر وکیلان شه کشورگیر است. پیوسته کلید فتح دارد در دست، آن دست که بر قبضه این شمشیر است. You can see 2 swords of him, one in Pars Museum, one is in Pars Museum, and one is in Military Museum of Tehran. Both are attributed, and they are really shamshirs of Karim Khan Zand with documentations, and you can see measurements. They were in my hands, and you can see them in my book, Arms and Armor from Iran. So what does it say? This blade, with its celestial lion, is the sword of Vakil, because Karim Khan Zand called him representative, is the sword of the representative of Shah Keshwargiras, of this conquering, land conquering king. The one who has the hand on the handle of this sword here has always the key of victory in his hands. That's what it says. Look at these beautiful things. Other swords from, other bows from Qajar period and Zand and Qajar period. You get the quiver, beautiful, and also the arrows. Here you see a beautiful Safavid period char aine made of crucible steel. This is a bazuband from the Zand period, made of hide. See different arrows. Look at these beautiful arrows, broad hands. Look at this beautiful Zand period. Strong bow, composite bow. And these are attributed to Shah Sultan Hussein Safavid. This bazuband, everything is intact, even the protection inside. Get this beautiful sun-based armor. They're all again in my book. Look at this one. Beautiful, beautiful helmet, full of wood, and also hide shields, large hide shield. As you can see them here, and also these Nasser. This is Qajar with a handle made of jade, which you can see it here, and also another armor of China made of crucible steel. Look at this beautiful made of crucible steel. Is a lion attacking a bull here. And a beautiful bazooban chiseled on the whole surface. So all Iranian, as you can see. This qame with a handle made of walrus ivory, carved walrus ivory, belonged to Abbas Mirza Qajar. I remember, I think in this one as well, or on others as well, which was, I never forget that. You'll find the descriptions next to Nada Ali prayer. روزی که هیچ کس نبود داد رس مرا یا مرتضی علی تو برس به فریاد رس مرا. When there is no one who can listen to me and help me, oh, Murtaza Ali, referring to Hazrat Ali, you please help me. And I remember when I was walking in Sadabad Palace Complex, always thinking about that, going to the museum. And then this was this helmet. As you can see, the whole surface is chiseled. Beautiful surface made of patterned crucible steel and also gold inlaid floral design. Look at the other ones. Beautiful Persian helmets. This is magnificent. And these are from the Zand period, made of hide, rhino hide. Parts of this is sine band to protect the front, and this is post band to protect part of China, right? Simply beautiful. This is the bazuband which belongs to that, one of the bazubands. You see that also made of, is from Zand period, riveted mail. You can see it also again, all of them in my book. And a surface made of hide shield. Again, these are these ones. Beautiful. All with Persian inscriptions. Hide shield. We see that. So Iran had lots of hide shields, as you can see them as well. That's what I also, something new that many collectors found out, not only Indians. And this one is a beautiful china made of crucible steel, of hinged china, and also gold inlaid. This is the shamshir of Karim Khan Zand. Do you remember that? It's a heavy shamshir. Right? These are these swords with all of them with belong to Shah Abbas Safavid with Asadullah marks. And then, of course, we have different banners. And this is this banner, as you can see it here. Shiro Khurshid. And it has also many military swords, military style, European style military swords. Many of them are made of patterned crucible steel, actually. What's, as some people here say. Not all of them. And you can see that. So these ones are also, some of them were also presents, gifts, these ones. But many of military swords, European styles, are medals or made of crucible steel, I want to say. Yes. You see that here. So there are different, and this is Shahanshah Reza Shah Pahlavi, Al Sultan Shahanshah Reza Shah Pahlavi, belong to Reza Shah. And Nasr min Allahi wa Fatun Gharib, here is Allah. And this is this lion and the sun. Look how beautiful they are. And these are again military swords. And this is shamshir on a sword, on a shamshir, belonging to Fath Ali Shah Qajar. Look at that. This is Amal Asadullah Isfani, dated from the Safavid period. This is an heirloom sword, and during the Fath Ali Shah Qajar, they put his initials on it, Al Sultan Abu Sayyid Fath Ali Shah Qajar. So a simpler form of Wazuband and also of Chomene. Again, also some shamshirs here. Now we go to firearms. These ones, arms and armor from Iran, does not include firearms, but included the firearms in my book and research, Persian Fire and Steel. Here you can find, for example, beautiful pattern welded barrels, and here, and I analyzed all of them here in my book, cannons, cannon casting processes. I translated Safavid period manuscripts there. And you can see that here as well. This is a gun. This is a matchlock gun which belonged to Shah Tahmasp II. It has initials on all the sentences referring to inscriptions published in my book, Persian Fire and Steel. And find many cast cannon there with the sun and the lion and the sun. As you can be the dolphins and also, right, many of them Persian, as you can see it here. It says again where it was, right, which period when it was cast in the Qajar period, as you can see it here, and also dated. Here you see the dolphins here, right? You can see it. And this is a Russian cannon as well, and then they added Persian inscriptions there, as you can see it here. Look at this, how beautiful these cannons are, right? And the other cannons as well with different barrels. And this was the pants Chamran was wearing when he was injured. So in the modern times it goes. These are not in my book, of course, but just wanted to share it. There are also some pistols which were then given. Different cannons, as you can see them here. And also different muskets, flintlocks, pistols, and different muskets, arquebuses, also different cannons, small cannons, rifle guns, samburak, as you can see it here. This one was made cast during Muzaffar Shah Qajar. And this is a zamburak, a swivel gun, which was placed on the back of a camel. You can see all of them in my book, Persian Fire and Steel. Also gun accessories, like a primer flask, like a gunpowder flask, and a flintlock pistol. This is as you can see, the percussion cap. And here are some of these academia links you can find, because I wrote articles in French on them. My books are in English, both of them. And if you want to buy them, you can go and kindly buy them in my bookshop. So thanks for accompanying me and in this journey, in this beautiful journey. I hope you enjoyed them. This was Military Museum of Tehran. I'm going to add all those museums I have analyzed. I have even more. I haven't mentioned them all. So you can see what I have done. And again, I repeat, they were all in my hands and I analyzed them, and hope you enjoyed this and wish you a nice day. Thank you very much.